Hello, everybody. This is Abacus the Great, or whatever you want to call me. I'm not sure what I'm going to be calling my YouTube channel at the point of recording this, but this is actually a new league that I'm in. I wanted to, somebody asked me to join a league, and I decided to join a league. And this is my draft analysis for it, as well as the fact that I am going to be trying to upload team builders and all of my matches. I can't guarantee it, but I'm gonna try. If you want to see what my team is, not what my team is, my the league that I'm in, it's the PML D League. Check out Pokemon Masters League. I'll post a link in the description. Actually, you see it right here. But check that out if you want to see the powerful uh, league that we're in, as well as my coach interview. If you want to see a little bit more about myself and about me as a coach. Now we're just gonna head straight into my draft analysis. So I had the 11th pick of 12, which was really bad considering I wanted to get like one mon to build my team around, and I had about 7 mons that I was looking at. Let me count them. 6 possible contenders. Okay, Lander Sai, Heatran, Victini, Mew, Infernape, and Latias. And then there were a couple of others, like Manaphy, for example, that I would have loved to build my team around. So I get to the 11th pick. All of them are drafted. Every single one of them. The first 10 picks of the draft are Lando I, Clefable, Latios, Heatran, Victini, Jirachi, Mew, Manaphy, Latias, Infernape. So, I'm looking at the draft and I realize that every single thing that I wanted is gone. So what do? I realize something. There is a very, very powerful Mon that I'm experienced with, Mon that is famous for getting lots of kills in the GBA, probably second most famous to Mega Pinsir. Looking at Mega Pinsir right there, in getting kills in the GBA. One of the biggest threats. His name is none other than Weavile. We have here Joshua. What is the reasoning for this nickname? I play Fire Emblem. Joshua is a character from Fire Emblem 7, Fire Emblem 8, excuse me, Sacred Stones. He's a gambler, and I had a friend that used to have a YouTube channel or something, a username called the Gambling Weavile. So I just thought of Weavile as like a gambler, and if I recall correctly, I remember he has red hair, but Josh's color scheme is red and black. Weavile's color scheme is red and black with a couple of other colors mixed in there. So I think it's a perfect fit. His name is Joshua forever. So, do I really need to explain Weavile here? We have, I mean, this thing's not that versatile, but it's powerful. Okay, there's not really much I need to say. Ice Punch, Icicle Crash, Knockoff, Ice Shard, um, Low Kick. That's what it runs. Poison Jab, Sword Stance, Quick Attack. No, Fake Out though. It has a couple of different options. None of them are amazing, other than the major Icicle Crash, Ice Shard, Knockoff, Low Kick, Life Orb. That's what you run, and it kills things. But you can do a couple of other things. You can run Pursuit Trapping, X Scissor if you want to get. It's a fast taunter. Surf, obviously. Uh, and that special Weavile in here with Nasty Plot, Surf, Ice Beam, and Torque Pulse. Let's go. I'm gonna be that. Yeah, after that base 45 special attack stat though. Yeah, no, I'm gonna be running things like SD, Knockoff, Icicle Crash, Pursuit, Ice Shard. That's what the thing runs. It gets Home Claws if you want to not miss those Icicle Crashes. That's what it does, and there's not really much I need to explain. That blistering speed, base 120 attack, surprisingly decent special defense. A lot of people don't realize that Weavile can eat HP fightings from non-stab things that are not that strong. Not eat them, but it can take one. And then you run Choice Band, you run Life Orb, you learn. Another thing I like to run is actually Focus Edge Pickpocket. eat a hit. Oh yeah, another thing that it gets counter. You run sash, counter, kill something after taking so much damage from it, and then seal its item. It's fun. It doesn't work that often, but I can definitely see it working once or twice. But yeah, that was my first pick. And remember, I got the semi wheel, so after the next dude's two picks, I had a decent feeling of how I was going of which things I could draft before and after the wheel. He grabbed Keldeo and Ferrothorn, so I thought, okay, I don't need to grab a grass type until after, like, on the other side of the wheel, and I don't need to grab a water type until the other side of the wheel, because he's probably not going to draft one. Quite simply, what the... No. No, get out of here. I don't know why I did that. So, he grabs those two bonds, and I'm thinking to myself, well, there are two things that I really need. Sylveon and Entei. Because there are four fire types, and there are four really good fire types that I like using. One of them, Victini, Heatran, Infernape, and Entei. Three of them were drafted in the first round. So I had to think to myself, do I want the best fairy type, or do I want the only good fire type left? Which do I think has a better chance of staying until the end? And I was thinking about drafting Entei, and then I realized that the guy two picks after this pick, his thumbnail is Sylveon, and one of his favorite Pokemon is Sylveon. So I think, yeah, let's go ahead and draft Sylveon. I mean, Entei might not come around to me, but it has a chance to. Let's just do this. Sylveon doesn't. Uh, but Sylveon, he's the god of light. That is what my Sylveons are called. It's one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. It was the first real Nuzlocke hero for me, which is why I love it. And it's so awesome. It has two major sets that it runs, Specs and Cleric. But both of them are really good, and they can be brought on two different occasions, and you can bring different coverage moves that you need specifically, or whatever you need. It gets Shadow Ball and Hyper Voice. The Pixelate boosted Hyper Voice is amazing. But I mean, the thing that I'll be running probably most often is Hyper Voice, uh, Wish, Heal Bell, and either Baton Pass or Protect. That's just what Sylveon runs. But Hyper Voice, if you're not running Hyper Voice on Sylveon, you're not running Sylveon correctly. Unless there has to be some really, really good reason for you not to run Hyper Voice. Uh, like if you need to proc Moonblast drops or something, I don't know, or if you're in like doubles and you want Dazzling Gleam. I even then that's a stretch. But yeah, you run Hyper Voice on Sylveon and then three other moves that you need. That's how you run Sylveon. And now let's look at this EV spread. This EV spread is so good. Yeah, EV spread. Stat spread is so good. It gets good enough HP, not great, but good enough. Uh, Great special attack, amazing special defense, and everything else is pretty lacking. Defense and attack are 65, and speed is 60. They're both pretty terrible. It's a slow mon, but what Bulky Fairy isn't? It's the best non-Mega Fairy type, in my opinion. Clefable doesn't hit as hard, and it just doesn't work as well, it seems, in the format. And things like Florges and Aromatisse, stuff like that, even bulky Gardevoir, they just don't work as well in the format, it seems. Sylveon really works well, and it was on a team that I won a league championship with, as well as Weavile. So I know how to use these mons. There's not really much else you need to know about Sylveon. It's the God of Light. So the picks are coming around to me, and about halfway through the picks that I'm waiting for, it's like 20 picks that I have to wade through. I'm seeing some things that are really scaring me go by. Things like Embor, I'm thinking, and Rotomage, both go. I'm thinking, could you not? I want my fire type, please. And I'm coming around, and something that I always, it's pretty much my baby in Draft League format, Shaman. Shaman is amazing. Shaman is great. I love Shaman. Shaman is one of my favorite Pokemon to use in the format. It went at the beginning of the fourth round. I lost it, and the search for the grass type was something that was haunting me throughout the whole rest of the draft. I'll be getting to that later. I didn't actually get a grass type until my 10th round pick because I thought, oh, I'll just get this grass type later. Nobody's going to get this. So after Shaman went, I had a couple of thoughts. Okay, I'll grab Roserade. Roserade's the next best thing. It gets not as powerful stabs, but uh it gets better coverage, and its stats are a bit worse. So I mean that's okay. But then I realized something. When it comes around to me, Nidoking's still on the board. So I think, okay, I'll just grab Nidoking, and I'll get another grass type later. And I grab Nidoking. Nidoking is it's it's Nidoking. Again, another bond that you don't really have to explain in this format. Sheer Force Life Orb with things like Sludge Wave or Earth Power, Ice Beam, Fire Blast, Focus Blast, Dragon Pulse, uh, Blizzard if you need, things like Poison Jab if you want to run a physical set, Rock Slide, Shadow Ball, Shadow Claw, Sucker Punch for those psychic types is very, very useful. It's a mid-speed taunter. It gets Thunderbolt and Thunder Punch and Thunder. It gets Toxic Spikes. It gets Stealth Rocks. It's just an overall really, really good mod in this format. It's one of the best wall breakers in the format. And it's sort of a budget Lander SI. And since Lander SI was taken from me, I decided, hey, let's get the budget Lander SI that's still really, really good. It gets 2 stabs instead of 1 because Lander SI does not get, like, air slashers. Oh, God. That would be disgusting. With the 30% flint chance going into sheer force. Ugh. Luckily, it does not. That being said, things like Blizzard, Dragon Pulse, Firebolt. I already explained what Nidoking does. Not much that needs to be explained. Now you're thinking, I was mostly talking about special attacks there, and I was saying that physical attacks, you know, secondary. Well, it has a higher attack stat, but its special move is better. Like I said, its special moves are usually more powerful. Thunder Punch, Fire Punch, Ice Punch compared to Flamethrower, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt. Uh, they're just generally better moves. Yes, this thing's a ground type that gets Bolt Beam with Sheer Force Life Orb bonuses. There's a reason it's known as one of the best mons in the format, and it's tier 3. Let's just say it was a value pick. Nidoking, I haven't decided on a uh, definite name on it yet, but just as an idea for now, maybe Barney, maybe something else. I'm not 100% sure. I'll be looking at that later. So, guy gets a couple of picks, and at this point, dude drafts Chandelure and Mega Swampert. So, let's just say that Mega Swampert, and he is going to drop Politoed later, is going to slightly influence one of my picks later on. Uh, I'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, that especially since I grabbed a fire type right after this, I was kind of scared of this Mega Swampert because Mega Swampert at this point completely tears up my team. So what fire type did I get? Fire type, the Pokemon that I hate to prepare for the most in the GBA, Entei. That's not what I meant. Entei. Entei is disgusting. Entei is so difficult to prepare for in this format, and here's why. There's one move it gets. Everybody knows what it is. Sacred Fire. It's it's so disgusting. I hate having to prepare for Entei because the way I build my teams usually, I don't have something that can take Sacred Fires and Entei at the same time. It's just, usually I have a bulky water type that just doesn't want to get burned. For example, one league that I was talking about, I won, I had Gastrodon as my water type. He had Melodic. The dude drafted Melodic and Entei on the same team. And so he grabbed the one water type that doesn't mind getting burned and a thing that burns everything on the same team. It was an amazing core. I had to battle him 3 times. I don't know how I beat him all 3 times, but I did. But they were all really, really difficult battles. And you're thinking, oh, just grab something with flash fire. Well, things that are flash fire usually have a weakness to edgequake, right? Well, it gets stone edge and bulldoze. Specifically, Heatran is 4 times weak to bulldoze. Oh, you're just gonna outrun it since it's only base 100 speed? Well, it gets E-speed. It gets Flare Blitz for wall breaking capabilities. It gets Stone Edge, Earthquake, uh, Iron Head for fairies. It gets Roar. It's really good in this format. And there's one set that a lot of people don't, at least a lot of people didn't talk about for a long time because it just was not a set that anybody thought about. That Gem Leader Geo last season in the GBA made famous. It's called Caliente. Sunny Day with weakness policy and Solar Beam and Hidden Power Ice or whatever Hidden Power you need for that team. I think Shady had like a I forgot what he had that was weak to ice, but it was something that he used that was weak to ice. Maybe no, not Glazecore, but something. And I think he used Eruption here, but like Fire Blast or Flamethrower or whatever. Completely destroyed Shady's team. Took out like half his team, and it led to Geo easily beating Shady like 4-0 or something like that. And the set became famous. That's something I could run. I don't know how often I'll run it, but I could run it like once. It gets Calm Mind apparently. It's a very 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 good mon in this format. Name maybe Geo. Not sure. I don't really use Entei that often, so I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to be naming it. So 20 picks go by, and I think about this is about the point in the draft where I was really not sure what to grab. At this point, I was thinking, I'm gonna grab Virizion. I'm gonna grab Virizion. I'm gonna grab Virizion. Virizion as my grass type. Because I'm thinking, well, first of all, it's a fast grass type that gets pretty much everything grass types need, right? I'm not being stupid when I say that it gets everything that grass types need. Right? Does it not get Leech Seed? Oh my, it does not get Leech Seed. That being said, it gets Giga Drain, it gets Energy Ball, it gets Leaf Blade, Seed Bomb, 90 attacks are not very good, but it gets 129 special defense, Sacred Sword, Super Power, X Scissor Toxic. It would have worked, okay? It would have worked as a grass type. Uh, and I was thinking, I'll just grab it later. Eventually, when I was thinking about grabbing it, I looked on the tier list and it was grabbed. Yeah, it destroyed my day. It was actually, if I recall correctly, wait, who got it? It was grabbed by somebody that's actually in my conference, and he also grabbed Nidoqueen. So that'll be an interesting game. Grabbed something that I really wanted, and they parallel to my big purple dinosaur. Oh no! I know what I'm naming Nidoking. Anybody who watches Aquablade in the house? That's the only thing that you name Nidoking. What was I thinking? So at this point in the draft, I'm sort of at a loss for what to pick. Not exactly sure what I'm gonna need to draft, and I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm going back to see what order I drafted these things in, because uh, the draft order is in order of tier, not order of whatever, of order of pick. So I'm not 100% sure what order I drafted these mons in. I'm going up to see. But as a basic idea, I drafted. Oh god, I'm sorry. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, guys, I'm sorry about that. Hey, hey, guys, is this Okay, I'm sorry, some technical difficulties there, but I did figure out exactly what I was drafting. It's will be messing up everything, but yes, I did figure out what I was drafting. Next, the first thing that I drafted, I decided all of my picks are taken that I was going to grab later. So what am I gonna do? Pick something that I knew I needed. Gastrodon. Yeah, I needed Gastrodon. Gastrodon is amazing. Fidel Gastro is my Gastrodon name. It's actually the single Pokemon that survived in the League Championship battle that I was in. It lived a Talonflame's Reaper and then killed it with Scald, and I was so happy. But yes, this thing is actually like really good. It gets ice coverage, clear smog, earth power, earthquake, scald, sludge bomb, sludge wave for fairies, toxic, obviously, of course, for cover. Very, very useful. It gets memento. It gets ice beam, of course. It gets some decent hidden powers. It gets I feel like there's something I'm missing. Acid armor is very, very useful. It gets bulldoze and brine, curse, counter, captivate. Let's go. Uh, but yes, it actually does get a lot of good things that it can be used for. It also gets Stone Edge and Rock Slide for flying types and stuff. But one of the most useful things about Gastrodon is Storm Drain. Oh, that rain team that's forming? Well, sorry. I'm gonna eat all of your Mega Swampert rain boosted waterfalls and then respond with my own Hidden Power Grass. I'm probably gonna do zero. Oh, and I'll talk about his rain team in just a little bit. And what I did to counter the rain team, because even this thing's not going to handle the rain team amazingly. Even though Armaldo is going to end up being his only other rain sweeper, aside from like Keldeo. But yeah, he has a pseudo rain team. That's decent. It's good. Also, at this point, he drafted Mamoswine. That's that's nice. He drafted like Polytone and Mamoswine here, or Electros and Mamos. Yeah, but that's Gastrodon for you. Not really much to say here. It gets great HP. It's really slow, but it has good special attack, okay attack, and defense, and decent special defense. Not really much to say about Gastrodon. It's really good. Then we have something that I almost forgot to pick that I really, really wanted. Something that I like to call the powerful, underrated God of Amon, Tyrantrum. I misspelled it. I'm sorry, guys. Tyrantrum. Yes, this thing is so underrated. It is the most underrated thing in the. It's probably the most underrated mon in the format. Rikishi. Did I spell Rikishi right? Rikishi. Sure. There's one thing I use. It is Stone Plate, Rockhead, Dragon Dance, and Win. That is what I run on Tyrantrum. I'm kidding. No, I run Scarf. Obviously. It's what Tyrantrum does. It's just a really, really powerful thing that can run Scarf or Band or Dragon Dance. I like running Dragon Dance. I've swept teams with Dragon Dance before. Uh, it can run. It clicks head smash and things die. It clicks. It clicks head smash and things die. It doesn't. Unlike other Dragon types, it doesn't need to rely on Outrage or Draco Meteor as its strong stat move. It gets another strong stat move that's even stronger. Head Smash is absurd. With Rockhead, things die. That's how Tyrantrum works. You can run Rock Polish, you can run Dragon Dance, you can run Earthquake, Crunch, Dragon Claw, Dragon Tail, Fire Fang, Restriction, Iron Head for those fairies, Ice Fang. It just gets decent coverage with. Does it not get Thunder Fang? It doesn't get Thunder Fang. Zen Head, but I guess what it needs to get, and it's good with it. I mean, Head Smash is coming off of that base 121 attack stat. Things die. That's how it works. Things die. Yeah. It yeah, that's how it works. So those are my first 6 mons. I think we have 5 more mons that we draft. Uh, so things come around, and I look at my team, and I realize a couple of things. One, I have no ghost. Well, no, I do have a ghost resist and Weavile, but I have nothing that really handles ghost types. Another thing, I have nothing that really handles Victini or fire types that get things that handle Gastrodon. I mean, I have my own fair share of fire resistances, but I wanted something that acts as a grass immunity, a fire resistance, an ice resistance, and something with only one weakness, all at the same time. Well, not all in one game, but all in one mon. Of course, I'm talking about Whitney the Meal Tank. This thing is really, really good in this format. Just quite simply, it gets 3 good abilities. It runs Thick Fatter Sap Sipper if you want to run immunities or resistances. It's another fire resist, quote unquote. It was usually my intake counter in other leagues whenever I had to have an intake counter. It was my switch into it with like Earthquake, Heal Bell, Milk Drink, uh, Stealth Rock usually. And it doesn't have to carry the cleric abilities for once because I have Sylveon. But it's a really, really good wall. It Milk Drinks on you. It can run Assault Fest. It can run an offensive set with that base 100 speed. It can run offensive with, like I said, base 100 speed and Scrappies to get all of those nice double edges. Uh, and Hammerums that's unresisted coverage right there, guys. Or those. Does Seismic Toss work with Scrappy? That would be interesting. Seismic Tosses that hit your ghost types. Oh, I don't know about you anymore, Trevenant. Anyway, it can be very, very useful. Or if I need something to switch on the grass type, boom, Saps Miltank. If I need something to switch on a fire type, boom, Thick Fat Miltank. Or Mamoswine counter, boom, Thick Fat Miltank. It is a very, very useful mon, and it is very, very underrated. Like I said, it gets. Does it get Wish? Does it actually get Wish? I don't think it gets Wish. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, it doesn't get Wish. But it does get Milk Drink. It does get Heal Bell. It gets Ice Punch. I think it gets all the elemental punches. It gets Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, and Fire Punch. It's all the elemental punches. It gets fighting coverage, ground coverage, normal coverage, obviously, normal stab, Iron Head, Shadow, Rock Slide, uh, Zen Headbutt, Thunder Wave, Yellow Magic There's my favorite status. Uh, it gets Stealth Rock, which is something I kind of wanted because both of my Stealth Rockers at this point were offensive mons that I didn't want to have to carry the rock weight every single game. So I got a third Stealth Rocker that actually is a decent Stealth Rocker. Uh, then that's how Entei works. The only thing that I don't like about Entei is that for something that can technically be run offensive, 80 base attack is just not very good. But I can live with it. So a couple of picks later, I think this is where he grabs Mamoswine, and I realized that I could have grabbed Mamoswine, and I should have grabbed Mamoswine because it's Mamoswine. But I looked at my team and I realized that I needed a tier 6 and I needed a fast electric. And something that I've used before, I decided, hey, Zebstrika. Yes, I have used Zebstrika. I used it before Miguel. Guys, I use it in the same league that I have like Melodic and Heatran and Weavile and stuff like that. Uh, and Shaman. But yes, Zebstrika is actually very underrated. It's not great. It's it's uh it's not amazing, but it gets the coverage that Mega Man X gets that makes it at OU. It gets Overheat plus Thunderbolt or Flame Charge. Is Flame Charge really the only fire charges? Yeah. Flame Charge or Overheat plus Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Wild Charge. That's what it runs. It's a budget Mega Man X. Pretty much that Pursuit Traps if you want it to. Unstapped Pursuit Trapping is useful, I guess. but it gets Thunder for that Rain team. It gets Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Wild Charge, Toxic. Well, I mean, Quick Attack. If I run on like a Bandit set with Pursuit and Quick Attack, that could be useful, maybe. It gets Agility, because you need to boost that base 116 speed, obviously. Wait, am I getting a call now? But yes, that's the main thing. Base 116 speed. If you haven't figured out my speed tiers, I'll be talking about that in just a second, is actually not that bad. It's not amazing, but it's not that bad. I'll be talking about that later. So I only have 3 picks left at this point. And this is also the point where I realized that I don't get a steel type in this draft, which is fairly bad. I I was actually thinking at this point that I wanted a steel type Mega, like Mega Scissor, Mega Aggron. They're both gone. They're they're both gone. I It's unfortunate, but they are. They're both gone for a long time. Uh, yeah, it's a sad thing, but they were both gone for a long time, and I couldn't get them, so I had to regroup. I didn't get a Steel type, which I really wanted, but I think I'll live. I think I'll live. If not, I can drop something maybe for a Steel type. We'll see. Hopefully, I don't have to do that though. So I'm looking at my team. Oh yeah, also I'm probably gonna end up calling my substriker Elisa and maybe making a female. I don't know. So I'm looking, and I realize that of all of the things, everybody has drafted a Mega except for one other person. That one other person has to draft a tier 2 or tier 3 Mega. Let's go over the Megas that have been drafted at this point. Actually, no, I'll talk about that in a little bit. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But I decided I needed some defog support. And getting a Magic Bounce user at the same time is nice. Getting Zatu here. Zatu, uh, like I said, it's a Zatu. It gets Magic Bounce, Early Bird for that powerful Moongus counter. It gets Magic Bounce and Defog. Yeah, Magic Bounce and Defog. And it gets CM Baton Pass. It can it Baton Pass wishes? I feel like it can. Yes, it can. It can Baton Pass wishes. That is very useful, and it could be a secondary budget Sylveon almost. It's my Psychic type. It's wow, that's a lot faster than I thought it was. I thought it was like 85 or something like that, but 95 is pretty good, honestly. Yeah. So, 95 special attack, 95 speed, 60, 70, 65, 70, 70 defenses are not great, but they're usable. And it gets Defog and Roost, if I recall correctly. And if you're not hitting high enough, you can use Nightshade. It gets both screens? Both screens. Shadow Ball, Psyshock, Sucker Punch, some Yellow Magic. It gets U-Turn. So it gets enough. It gets enough to get by. Probably gonna end up calling the Zatu Papaya. Just because, I don't know. Maybe something else. We'll see. When Zatu comes. So, 2 picks left. Looking at my team. I need a tier 4 Mon. I need a Grass type. And my texture rain are shaky. Guess what's in tier 4? Moved up from tier 5 because of rain itself. Ludicolo. I was very, very doubtful of this pick when I first saw it. I looked at tier 4 and I just ran right down the grass types. First thing I see is Ludicolo. And I look at myself and I realize that this is the counter to rain that I needed. It's, oh, you're gonna run rain? I'll run Swift Swim and Giga Drain. And stuff's gonna die. And this can actually work very well with Zebstrika and running Thunder, because once Mega Swampert dies, Zebstrika runs free with Volt Switches and Thunders. And it'll not be a fun day. I could run Swift Swim with a Life Orb and like Giga Drain and stuff, and just sweep the Mega Swampert. that could be very, very useful. Uh, it looks like the draft just completed and he grabbed Baby Clef the Clefairy. That's interesting. But yeah, Ludicolo is useful. It can counter rain. It's a grass type that gets everything other than Leech Seed. Sad, but Leech Seed's not amazing. I'll live without Leech Seed. Oh, it does get Leech Seed. Why didn't I think it get Leech Seed? Oh, it does get Leech Seed, so. And it gets some things that a lot of grass types don't get, like Knockoff and all the elemental punches, including Fire Punch. Something most grass types don't get. It gets a secondary stab that's really good in water, which means it gets Scald. It gets Fake Out. Fake Out support is useful. It gets Home Claws, so those Hydro Pumps will hit. Obviously, that's what I'll be using it for. It gets. It's one of the few mods that actually gets Grass, Water, Fire coverage, technically, although I'm hitting off of base 70 attack, so it's pretty bad. But I can run it. It gets Focus Blast and Ice Beam and uh, Surf and SD and Synthesis and Toxic. It's not a great grass type, but it's makeshift. It'll do after Virizion and Shaman are gone. At this point, if you're wondering, I could not grab Roserade. Roserade was too many points. I would have had to not grab Xatu, A. B, draft a tier 3 Mega, and then I could draft Roserade. But then I wouldn't have had support. I would not have had the defog support that this brings, unless I was going to draft Mega Beedrill. Which, am I really going to draft Mega Beedrill for defog? No, I'm not, obviously. So what was I going to do? So I'm looking at my team and I realize that Ludicolo actually works decently. Not great, but decently. And I can run Mini Rain, like I said, with Substrika and Ludicolo. Ludicolo gets Rain Dance, right? Right. Right. Yes, okay. And Gastrodon. I mean, I could run Rain Dance, potentially. I don't know when it would be useful, but it's possible. Xatu probably gets it. I could do that. And it would be useful. So that is Ludicolo for you. Base 70 speed outruns Mega Swampert. So I can do that. And now finally my last pick. So I'm looking. I realize I haven't dropped my Mega yet. And at this point all the Megas are drafted. And here are the Megas that are drafted. We have Mega Absol, Mega Lopunny, Mega Venusaur, Mega Altaria, Mega Blastoise, Mega Banette, Mega Scizor, Mega Aggron, Mega Zard Y, Mega Tyranitar, and Mega Swampert. I.e. not appearing, Dactyl, Zam, Charizard X, Gallade, Garchomp, Gardevoir, Heracross, Manectric, Medicham, Sableye, and Slowball all from Tier 1. Do you want to know what else was from Tier 1? That wasn't picked. Yep! Mega Pinsir! I have Weavile and Mega Pinsir on the same team. Let's go! The amount of offensive pressure this team has is absurd. Yeah, the amount of offensive pressure between this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing, and this thing is insane. I have so many things that can wall break. I have a decent defensive core. The only real weakness to my team is that this is a decently rock weak team with 3 offensive mons that are weak to rocks. And I only have 1 defogger that's also weak to rocks. So I have to play around rocks very, very, I have to play around rocks very, very well, or else it's going to destroy me. That being said, it's a team that can run Hazard Sack decently well. I get Toxic Spikes. I don't think I get Spikes, sadly, but I do get Toxic Spikes, Stealth Rocks, and Magic Bounce. So it can be run, potentially. But yeah, that's my team. Just as an overview, I have Weavile, Sylveon, Nidoking, Entei, Gastrodon, Tyrantrum, uh, Miltank, Zebstrika, Xatu, Lidicolo, and Pinsir. Mega Pinsir, of course. So that's my team. I'm a little bit worried about a couple things. First of all, I've never used the likes of Entei, Xatu, or Ludicolo in a draft league format before. As my experience, I've used Weavile in like two different leagues, Sylveon in a lot of leagues. I haven't used Nidoking before, actually. Uh, Gastrodon in at least one league. Tyrantrum, I've never technically had, but I've helped team build, and I've even battled a couple times for a friend of mine that had Tyrantrum in a league, and it did very well. I've had Miltank in a lot of leagues, had Zebstrika in one league, and Mega Pinsir, I uh, had in one league that I went 0 and 4 and that I went 0 and 4 with. So I'm a little bit worried about that. Hopefully, I'll do better then. That